Hello, Aries. So here we are with your reading for February 2025. The first two cards I'm going to be pulling out are the significant energies for February 2025. You actually got three. I just wanted one, but sometimes it is what it is. I'm going to pull one of these two. There it goes. So one is she who rises up, pearl, empowerment, uplifting, elevated. So I do feel like you're rising up from an energy of, I want to say, stagnation, negativity, or whatever. You're coming out of the ashes. The first thing we see is a dog, protection from a powerful friend. The second thing we have is bag, something important such as a new job or a raise. I think this is the elevated energy. I don't feel like it's a raise. I feel like you're kind of coming out of a dark period. Okay. And then we have vase, some secret admirer. And I do believe that you're receiving help from someone. I don't believe that you know the someone. It actually feels very spiritual. I don't. Sometimes I get a feeling from some of the cards, and it feels like, this isn't like a physical person that is helping you out. I feel like this feels more spiritual, ancestral. Now, the first thing that we're seeing is the full moon that is in the sign of Leo. That will be the 12th of February. Now, mind you about this moon. Usually Leo moons have a way of like giving us that fiery energy. And because you are an Aries, it would be like double fire, kind of like moving you forward, except for the fact that it has a square in Mercury and Uranus. And we are still under the influence of Mars retrograde in the sign of Cancer. So the more fire to the flame, the more water gets thrown into it. So it feels like you have a desire to move forward, and it feels like all this emotional shit keeps coming up and blocking you up and hanging you up. Okay. It's a, I want to say it's a benefit that you might not see, but you should see. It's one of those things where you're being held up so you don't make a mistake, is what I can tell you. And because sometimes too much fire together have a way of making an explosion, and I don't think it would have been a wise time for you to move forward. You are being lifted up about a situation, but it's not something you're doing. It's being done for you. Okay. And so what do we have to tell you about that? So the first thing we have here is the Queen of Pentacles, and we have it with the Three of Swords. Um, there is sadness in this. Is where I'm telling you the sadness energy, the emotional sadness for a mother figure. Now, if you're a mother, it's you that is sad about something. If it's a mother figure around you, might be sad about something. Can you tell me more about that? 1 second, because it fell on the floor. All right, this fell off my hands 2 times. Okay, it's important to tell you that we have the Seven of Wands. You're going to want to block your emotions. You're going to want to ignore this. You're going to want to focus on material wealth, focus on making money, focus on all that stuff, because that is what makes you feel comfortable. That is what makes you feel like you can create your reality, right? Something that has to do about the money, because right now material wealth is easier than emotional stuff. And right here, it's like you're going to try to block this emotional downpour that you're going to feel because of this influence of this moon. What can we tell her? You look at this, holding back, Four of Wands. I mean, Four of Pentacles. Okay. And I said Four of Wands, and that's important. So it does feel like it's family, like the pain is coming from something in the family. Okay. What else do you have to tell them about that? Wow. And it keeps you up at night. Nine of Wands. Look, this is not the time to mess around when it comes to your emotions. Okay. Seek help. Try to get yourself out of. All of a sudden, I started smelling wax like a candle turned off, but my candles are still on. Um, try to seek help. Try to look for counsel. Try to move forward in this energy. You're not going to be able to mute this out. I know this is not a comfortable position for you because you are an Aries and you have a tendency of wanting to be the leader. Let's push on. We can do this. It's okay. Suck it up, buttercup, blah, blah, blah. This is not a time for that. And and you have to deal with this. And the way that your spiritual team is going to help you elevate through this is that if you don't deal with it, they will pour more onto you, more, I want to say, bad news so that you can start dealing with what is carrying in your heart. Okay. All right, we have the new moon that's going to be on the 28th of February. This new moon is in the sign of Pisces, but it's super important because it has an alignment with 7 different planets, and that's Saturn, Mercury, Neptune, Venus, Uranus, and Jupiter. Saturn is all about lessons. Mercury is all about your talking, your communications. Neptune is all about the hidden things inside of your emotions. You see how it's not a good idea for you to hide this? Venus is all about what's hidden in your heart. Uranus is about changing things so that you can expand out of that energy. Jupiter, okay? Your intuition is going to be on point. Your creativity is going to be, your empathy is going to be on point. You know what I'm saying? So it's like your emotions are going to be on freaking steroids on February 28th and on. And so if you do not address this, it's going to get worse. Okay? I feel like I'm overemphasizing that because you're an Aries and you don't like the emotional part of stuff. But the reality is, this is going to be so bad if you don't deal with it. All right. So let's see about this new moon. Mm-hmm. Here you are waiting, Princess of Wands, for some kind of news, something that you've been waiting for, some papers, some documents, some news from something that is going to bring you the clarity that you need so that you can get something out of you. Tell me more about this news that they're waiting for. Yeah, 6 of Wands. It's kind of like something that's supposed to balance out your material life. And then we have the Four of Swords with the King of Swords. But it's not coming. It's not coming because it's you're not addressing the elephant in the room. So one of the things that you have to keep in mind is that because we entered the age of Aquarius, your heart, your love, your emotions are your currency. You will be able to manifest everything you desire if you're able to connect to your heart space. If you do not, you will not, right? If you're noticing lack in finances, if you're noticing lack in manifestation, if you're noticing lack in any aspect of your life, visit the emotion that you have been blocking. That is what's causing the problem. Okay, let's see how this Mars retrograde in Cancer affecting you. And then this energy. Look, it's affecting you because it wants you to deal with your emotions, Queen of Cups. It's all about, I want to talk about love. And 5 of Cups, I don't want to talk about love. It's like, it's provoking you to feel. It's provoking you to open your heart. It's provoking you to awaken. And if you're not willing to do so, you will feel a lot of spilled milk. I feel like I'm reprimanding somebody, but I'm not. They just want me to emphasize the fact that your spiritual team is helping you elevate, right? And it's because they love you. And the bag right now, which it says something important, such as a new job or a raise. I feel like it doesn't. It's like I feel like a bag of marbles, like a lot of things happening at once because it's helping you elevate. The whole point is to help you ascend so you don't get stuck in the same energy that you were stuck in. And unfortunately, this energy has a way of putting us in victim mentality. This energy has a way of us pointing our fingers to people that are around us and saying it's their fault, or like my circumstances, it's everybody else's fault, because it's going to be so hurtful. And like, I feel like I have to give you a big hug, but this is not because you're doing something wrong. It's because you're trying to cover the sun with your finger, and it's not going to happen. You need to address this emotion that you haven't addressed. And then what I just heard, it's the feeling of less than, like, I'm not good enough, and that's the reason all these bad things are happening. So I'm going to keep doing things to prove my worth instead of addressing this emotional thing that is hurting me. Um, wow, that made me nauseous. Okay, so let's talk about and this is making you like the reason it's important that it's making me nauseous right now is that it's affecting my solar plexus. And solar plexus is your divine masculine energy, your fire energy, the part of you that makes you feel like you have the strength to move forward and expand and change things. And the fact that it's so muted, like it literally makes you nauseous. So it's going to block your solar plexus energy. There might be a possibility that you get a lot of stomach problems, constipation, bloating. Some food might start fitting wrong on you, but it's all because of this. You're stagnating the energy by not wanting to address the emotion. Um, oh my God. Now, what you are seeing correctly, work. I mean, yeah, because that's what makes you feel comfortable, right? So work makes is your safe zone. Work is the thing that makes you feel strong. Work makes you feel your Aries self. And so you have that right. Yeah, you're doing work fine. But that's not the problem. And then what you don't see right. Five of Wands, how you're fighting with yourself. How the person that you're fighting with is not the person outside of you that's creating a block, the situations that are around you, the people, places, things, or whatever. It's nothing outside of you. It's you fighting with yourself because you do not want to talk about your emotions. Tell me more about the Five of Wands. Yep. And we have the Two of Wands in reverse. And that tells me that you will have a blocked path forward until you address it. Until you start with Two of Pentacles to balance your emotions. You know what? I want to look up that number because it called me 522. Let's see, 522. You are in a powerful space that is connected with the energy of forgiveness. Know that forgiveness is the remembering that you can never really be hurt by nothing, for nothing can tarnish your soul. I'm just going to leave that there, okay? Because this is an emotional heavy bag that you're carrying. All right. How February is going to end for you. Death card. Now you can decide if the death card is going to be a positive death or the death card is going to be a negative death, depending on how much you address your emotions. Okay. If you do not address your emotions, it'll be ends to things that you do not want to let go of, and it's going to be very hurtful. If it's if you start addressing the emotion that's in your heart, then you'll start noticing that the death is just an ending of chapters of your life that will help you transmute and evolve in your life. I mean, legit, there's something you're going to have to let go of, and I feel like it's this bag, and the bag is going to get heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier until you start dealing with this emotion you're not dealing with. All right. So last card is, if it is a major arcana, it gives you a key that can help you with this energy that we're entering into in February. If not, it's just more information. Wow. We have the World card. And the World card is, it's time for you to end a chapter. So this tells me, and with the energy of forgiveness that I'm seeing over there, this tells me that there is something, right? There is something that you keep repeating. This can be a storyline of somebody that hurt you. This can be a storyline where you're always victorious and triumphant. You know, because blocks, emotional blocks, doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad one, because sometimes we idolize a situation so much and a person so much, or a feeling so much, that we make them the center of our universe, the best things ever, and then there's no one that can be like them. And this can be like family members, this can be past love, this can be all kinds of stuff, right? And so I feel like there is something that, a chapter that has to end in your life, right? There's something that you've been told since actually last year, and they told me in February, March of last year. That's a whole year, child. that they told you it's time for you to close this chapter, to end this cycle, that this is not for you, that this is not going to end up exactly where you want, that this is going to be the terrible thing for you, that you have to take accountability for your part of a situation and just let it go because it's not going to get any better and you haven't wanted to. The fact that that's coming up like that, that tells me that you're repeating a storyline and it is time to close the chapter. If you truly want February to not see, the thing is that, let me hold on with that. What you do January and February will strongly impact the next movements throughout 2025. 2025 is a letting go of old skin that no longer serves you. When a snake cannot let go of their skin, it can create infections and it can create death, and it can it stops their, because that's how they grow. They can't grow, they can't expand, they can't do anything, right? But mostly it can lead to death. And the reason why you haven't grown, the reason why you feel stagnation, the reason why there's a feeling of I missed out on something, or I didn't do something, or something is wrong, is because you don't want to let go of that person's a bad guy, I'm a good guy, that person's a narcissist, I'm a good guy, I'm the victim, I'm the poor guy, blah, blah, blah. This is a year of taking accountability and responsibility. Everything that we had, every relationship and whatever, was teaching us something about ourselves. And so it is time for us to take accountability. And if we're willing to do so, 2025 can be freaking amazing. A transformative year where you just let go of so much shit that you are able to just fly. But if you are resisting, right, and you become karmic being it's somebody else's fault except my own, right, then it will be a really hard year for you. You get to choose. I hope you make the right choice. We'll see you the next time.